Seacole Trust joins us now. Trevor, really good to see you this morning. Tell me a little bit more about the Plaque scheme. What are you asking the government to be doing?
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a proposal which we, the Mary Seacole Trust, have put to the government. And our position is quite simple. History can be both positive and negative, and the most important thing from history is that we learn from it. One of the difficulties is that we know that British history has, to some extent, concealed some of its past in relation to the more egregious aspects. And that is obviously topical in relation to the statues and monuments that we see relating to slavery. And our view is that guidance should be given by the government to local authorities to enable them to consider a request from the public in relation to the statues which are so egregious that there should be some plaque, a black plaque, which more correctly recalls the narrative around the individual that's featured within the monument.
So in your mind, as you mentioned, history both positive and negative. There are statues to people, as you say, both egregious and deserving of praise. But it's your view that these, for example, the statue of Edward Colston in Bristol, rather than bringing that down, could have remained in place, but with one of these plaques?
Well, the statue of Colston is an interesting one because there was a formal process which was implemented, but of course the council decided not to remove it, and so action was taken. We don't condone that type of action, although we understand it. Our position is quite simply that if you look at history, what you will see is that slave owners and slave traders, they received a significant payment of bailout. This was the biggest bailout in the history of this country. In today's money, around £20 billion. And of course, that money went to these slave owners, and many of them used that money to further their philanthropy. They built hospitals and various other things for which they were recognised by having a statue. The reality is that if we can indicate through a black plaque the correct narrative around that individual, it will educate in relation to two things. The true history of this country, which includes slavery and the fact that there was a bailout, but it would also ensure that people are educated in respect of black history, both in the sense of those egregious aspects, and that combined with more modern day statues, such as Mary Seacole, will give a sense of this country having been diverse and its past being both egregious and positive.
I was just about to check who that statue was just over your shoulder there, but I'm afraid we will. Thank you for updating us. Trevor Sterling, I'm afraid we have to leave it there, but thank you so much. We'll be back in touch once the government have been back in touch with you. Now, schools and colleges